Hello, I'm Brad Kramer with Provanio Consulting. Today, I want to talk about how to make your permits, as in your safety permits, more effective and more efficient for your facility. A lot of times, permits end up being a lot of waste of time and resources on a business if they're not put together well. So, when you look at putting together a permit or safety procedure, a little bit of extra work and research at the front end of developing that permit can save a lot of labor, expenses, and risk for your business down the road. So, just a few things to think about when you think about putting together a good permit. One of the first tasks I've been given when I was the new safety coordinator a number of years back was to revamp the permits that we had in place in a manufacturing company. And I reduced, I want to say, about 2 or 3 pages, for example, just from the confined space permit. And what we found after that was it was much more efficient. And so then our number of permits started going up. So it wasn't that we were doing any more work, but it was rather that all the workers were actually using the permits because they were easy to understand, easy to follow, and they were, quite frankly, a lot quicker, easier to use. So once it got easier, they started using them more than trying to sneak away without getting, doing a permit and doing the work unsafely. So that was our biggest win, was actually having work being done more safely. You don't want to be cutting corners on a permit and cutting time out. I mean, for example, there's times where it is smart to be redundant. You want multiple people, or multiple times you look at the operation to make sure it's being done correctly. Other times, redundancy does not make sense. It's just going to make that process more inefficient. So look at any time something is redundant and determine, is it actually making your operation safer, or is it just a time suck? Um, Anytime you can look at a permit process, and if there is an exemption in place, for example, with confined spaces, permit required confined spaces, if reclassification or alternative entry procedures applies to your space and it's applied correctly, not just used inappropriately to get out of spending time on a permit, but if you do it correctly, it can save your organization a lot of time, a lot of risk, and quite frankly, making those procedures easier to follow. Same thing with lockout, tagout, and the alternative methods. You don't want to just allow employees to do anything they want there, but making sure there's a good procedure can save your business a lot of time, make your permits more efficient, and therefore less costly, and be more productive for your business. So take a look at your permits and figure out, where can we get steps removed from here while not making our process less safe. More safety is what we want, not at the expense of time and more money that doesn't need to be spent. So, Brad Kramer with Provanio Consulting, helping you make your permit safer and more efficient.